Letterboxd adds, it's weird to say that about a friend.
Yes,
100,000%. If you get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate I'm Khaleesi, which is, by the way, she's not a good guy in the movie. She's a bad guy.
Blake Lively. Once the epitome of grace and poise, now finds herself engulfed in a maelstrom of legal disputes and personal betrayals. The actress, renowned for her tight-knit friendship with pop icon Taylor Swift, is reportedly heartbroken after. Swift publicly addressed the ongoing lawsuit involving Lively and director Justin Baldoni. The once unbreakable bond between the two celebrities seems to be crumbling under the pressure of controversy and public scrutiny.
And while we're live, Taylor Swift is having bad blood with Blake Lively. I am not your dragon, I knew! Secret footage has been released that reveals that Blake Lively was working with Taylor Swift the whole time? If this is real, Blake Lively, you deserve all of this! This is a reckoning she needs to hear. This isn't bullying. This isn't harassment. This is accountability.
The collaboration between Lively and Baldoni on the movie adaptation of It Ends With Us began with high expectations and mutual respect. However, as filming progressed, creative differences emerged, leading to mounting tensions on set. Insiders suggest that Lively sought greater artistic control, which clashed with Baldoni's vision.
That the publicist was planting stories about him. He's got receipts. His lawyer was just responding publicly to what she initiated. Literally moments ago, Baldoni's attorney.
They were plotting with the New York Times for months to smear him, and there may be some important evidence.
There's just so much more to the story, and the media's already like self-flagellating. Oh, we were too mean to Blake. And now you see text messages from Blake Lively comparing herself. She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift.
For the film, this power struggle set the stage for the ensuing legal battle in December 2024. Lively filed a lawsuit against Baldoni, alleging harassment and the creation of a toxic work environment during the filming of It Ends With Us. The lawsuit details instances of inappropriate conduct, including unwanted advances and unprofessional behavior on set. Lively claims that her complaints were met with retaliation, further worsening the hostile atmosphere in response. Baldoni filed a $400 million lawsuit against Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist Leslie Sloan.
They shared those together. They concocted a complaint that they filed with the Civil Rights Division. They omitted texts that would have provided contact.
And that really they're bored and rich. Another circumstance that made me see right through Ryan Reynolds and the kind of person that he is, when despite being friends with Joe Alwyn, who dated Taylor Swift for 5 years, she's best friends with Blake Lively,
accusing them of defamation and civil extortion. Baldoni alleges that Lively attempted to seize control of the movie's production, and upon failing, orchestrated a smear campaign to damage his reputation. He contends that the accusations against him are baseless and designed to undermine his career. This is the part of the story nobody thought.
Well, she filed a civil rights complaint in Los Angeles, and then within 24 hours, the New York Times had the scoop. They published the complaint in its entirety, and it looked suspicious.
On Blake Lively's claims that she was allegedly harassed by this guy when they shot the movie It Ends With Us, a film about domestic violence. And was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it.
Becoming Blake Lively and Taylor Swift have been Hollywood's Golden Girl besties for years. Brunch dates, birthday parties, matching red carpet vibes, even family vacations with their partners. Swift was there when Lively gave birth. Lively directed one of Swift's music videos. Their friendship was supposed to be unshakable, okay?
Okay, and that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any, okay?
The New York Times apparently reviewed 1,000 or more pages of text messages. They would have seen it. Justin never wanted to hurt her, never wanted to be negative to her, and it's all over the place.
Hide or die, but apparently not when legal drama and reputation damage start creeping into the picture. When the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni lawsuit exploded into the headlines, most people assumed Swift would stay silent, or at the very least, offer some private support behind the scenes, but then the bombshell dropped. Taylor Swift's name surfaced right in the middle of leaked communications tide.
You did not know, Both of their lawsuits have been consolidated into one legal showdown instead of these two separate lawsuits.
I know for a fact that the mainstream media will lie and they will smear on behalf of their powerful friend. I believe in due process, which is why I always read the facts of the case before accepting the media narrative.
To the case emails, text exchanges, messages that allegedly showed Swift was well aware of the conflict brewing between Lively and Baldoni long before the story went public. And what made this worse, according to those same leaked documents, Swift was allegedly being positioned as someone who could vouch for Lively's character. But when the subpoenas hit, Swift didn't exactly rush to Blake's defense, in fact.
A shitty product with atrocious marketing. You have yourself a disastrous brand that will go out of business.
They worked with the New York Times. Her publicist worked directly with the New York Times. They shared illegally obtained text messages.
What came next shocked everyone, especially Lively Swift through her legal team, publicly confirmed that she had been subpoenaed. But instead of leaning in to defend her so-called best friend, Swift issued a cold, calculated statement, essentially. Washing her hands of the entire mess, she made it crystal clear that she had no involvement, no knowledge of the specifics, and here's the kicker: no intention of inserting herself into the chaos behind closed doors. Allegedly, Swift didn't just step away from—
I have no idea on what grounds these two are going to attempt to dismiss his lawsuit. I could understand some possible arguments that her publicist might make and fail, because I told you, he's got evidence.
All right, you guys, it is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni Day. Finally, to all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard.
the situation. She slammed the door shut. Several insiders claimed Swift was furious over the way her name was dragged into the headlines, blaming Lively for the unwanted attention, according to rumors from the set of her latest tour. Swift allegedly told people in her inner circle that Lively had become toxic, obsessed with control, and had brought this entire disaster on herself. One source close to the Swift camp even claimed that Swift referred to Lively as a nightmare in heels privately, calling her out for allegedly manipulating the situation and using people around her. Like chess pieces, she makes everything about herself. Swift reportedly vented, adding that Lively had burned too many bridges to expect anyone to stand by her. Now, and it gets even colder. Rumors say that when asked whether she'd ever publicly support Lively through the lawsuit, Swift allegedly snapped back, "Why would I defend someone who's so good at making enemies?" But the harshest alleged comment, Swift reportedly told mutual friends, "I'm done cleaning up Lively's messes. She made this bed, let her lie in it." Fans have noticed the signs too. Lively, once a regular fixture on Swift's Instagram feed, has been missing from Swift's social posts for months. No birthday shoutouts, no comments on Swift's latest Eras tour pics, nothing but radio silence, and for a friendship that was once paraded so publicly that absence speaks louder than words to twist the knife. Even deeper, rumors are swirling that Travis Kelce, Swift's boyfriend, may have quietly encouraged Swift to distance herself from the lawsuit. Drama entirely. Multiple reports suggest that Kelce, known for being image-conscious when it comes to his NFL brand, was not thrilled about Swift being subpoenaed in such a scandal-heavy case. Whether or not he outright told her to cut ties remains unclear, but sources say his influence didn't help. Lively's standing at this point. Lively is allegedly feeling completely betrayed. People close to the actress say she's devastated, that Swift didn't back her up, especially after years of friendship, and shared spotlight. According to insiders, Lively believed Swift would at least offer a statement of support, if not for the lawsuit itself, then at least for their personal relationship. Instead, Swift's swift and deliberate detachment has left Lively more isolated than ever. And here's the thing, Hollywood loves a good friendship breakup. The headlines have already started writing themselves from besties to frenemies. The fall of Lively and Swift fans on social media have been picking apart the timeline, pointing out the moment. Things started to look icy between the two. The matching friendship bracelets gone, the inside jokes on Twitter silent, the Eras tour, VIP tent, where Lively once danced with her kids, empty summer calling. This the ultimate betrayal, others say. Swift simply did what she had to do to protect herself. But one thing's for sure, whatever love Lively thought was there, it's allegedly long gone. And if these insider claims about what Swift really thinks of Lively are true, that friendship might never recover as of April 2025. The legal showdown between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has only gotten uglier. What started as creative tension on the set of It Ends With Us has now spiraled into one of the most bitter and publicized Hollywood legal battles in recent memory. And here's the thing. Neither side seems ready to back down. Both Lively and Baldoni have aggressively filed motions to dismiss each other's claims. Lively through her legal team is arguing that Baldoni's $400 million countersuit is nothing more than a retaliatory stunt, meant to silence her and paint her as the villain her lawyers have called the defamation claims outrageous and an abuse of the court system pushing. Hard for the judge to throw the case out entirely, but Baldoni's team is playing just as dirty, if not dirtier. His countersuit remains laser-focused on one core accusation, that Lively deliberately sabotaged the project after failing to seize creative control from him. His lawyers claim to have internal emails, text messages, and even behind-the-scenes footage that allegedly show Lively undermining the production team, interfering with casting decisions, and feeding damaging stories to gossip outlets. According to their filings, this wasn't just a misunderstanding or clash of egos. This was, in Baldoni's words, a calculated takedown, and here's where it gets even messier. The Southern District of New York Court, where the lawsuits are playing out, recently denied both sides' initial motions to dismiss. In layman's terms, the judge believes there's enough smoke here to keep the fire burning. At least for now, the discovery phase is fully underway, which means depositions, subpoenas, and more evidence. Dumps are coming, and yes, Swift is still expected to testify if the subpoenas hold up insiders' claim that multiple A-listers who were loosely attached to the project, either as consultants, producers, or even shortlisted cast members, are being quietly looped into the witness list. Names have not been confirmed publicly, but word is that at least 2 major streaming platforms are also involved behind the scenes, reviewing their future business ties to both Lively and Baldoni. Based on how this lawsuit shakes out, one particularly brutal twist: insurance companies tied to the movie's production are now in talks to reassess their policies regarding both stars. Allegedly, projects led by Lively could face higher premiums moving forward due to what some insiders are calling talent risk exposure translation. Her involvement might now be seen as a liability instead of an asset, a reputation no actor wants attached to their name. And while Baldoni is positioning himself as the victim of a smear campaign, not everyone in the industry is buying it. Some insiders have whispered that his obsession with controlling the movie's narrative may have fueled the conflict just as much as Lively's alleged behind-the-scenes power grabs. Neither side comes out looking spotless. But here's what makes this case such a ticking time bomb: whoever loses could be staring down the barrel of career-ending headlines. If the court sides with Baldoni, Lively could be branded as manipulative, difficult, and toxic to work with, and not just in the rumor mill, but legally documented as such. But if the court favors Lively, Baldoni could go down as another Hollywood director accused of creating a hostile environment and retaliating against a woman who spoke up. And the worst part, this trial is only gaining traction. Major outlets like Variety, Deadline, and The Hollywood Reporter are dedicating full teams to cover every hearing, every leaked email, every slip-up in court. The spectacle isn't dying down, it's snowballing. Fans, too, are heavily divided. Some are rallying behind Lively, citing her long history of professional success and framing her as a woman standing up against systemic abuse in the industry. Others are firmly in Baldoni's corner, convinced this is yet another example of a celebrity weaponizing the media and cancel culture to punish a director for creative disagreements. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds, who's been dragged into the countersuit, has stayed suspiciously quiet. But sources close to the actor say he's privately furious about the entire situation, particularly about how his name is being smeared alongside his wife's. Whether Reynolds will take a more public stance as the case drags on remains to be seen. But his PR team is reportedly on high alert. At this point, settlement talks have allegedly been floated, but neither side seems interested in waving the white flag. Both Lively and Baldoni appear determined to fight this out to the bitter end, convinced they'll come out the hero when the dust settles. And with trial dates still being scheduled and more subpoenas expected to hit in the coming weeks, one thing is clear: this isn't going away anytime soon. In fact, what happens next might just change the way Hollywood handles director-actor disputes forever. The entanglement of personal relationships and professional disputes in this high-profile case highlights the challenges of navigating the entertainment industry as the legal proceedings advance the once strong friendship between Blake Lively and Swift serves as a stark reminder of how quickly alliances can shift under public and legal pressures. The industry watches closely, aware that the outcome of this case may set precedents for handling similar conflicts in the future.